right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the world of AI.
Oh, yeah.
But hold on, there's a twist coming, and it's a big one.
Ooh, I love twists.
We're talking about DeepSeek, and yeah, you heard that right.
DeepSeek.
It's a Chinese AI startup, and let me tell you, they're making some serious waves.
Waves, how?
With this new AI model they've cooked up called DeepSeek R1.
Okay, I'm listening.
And get this, it's open source.
Whoa, hold on. Open source.
Yep, you heard me right.
That's a pretty big deal, isn't it? Like, completely different to what we're seeing with, say, GPT-4 or Claude, right?
Exactly, and there's more.
Lay on me.
They developed this whole thing, this DeepSeek R1, for a fraction of what OpenAI dropped on GPT-4.
Wait, really?
I'm talking millions, a tiny fraction.
That's fascinating.
So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack all of this, see what makes DeepSeek tick, why everyone's freaking out about it.
Yeah, what is it about this DeepSeek that's got everyone so riled up?
Well, first off, let's talk about this open source thing.
All right, open source. Let's get into it.
I mean, it's a huge departure from how, like you were saying, companies like OpenAI and Google usually play the game.
Yeah, they keep their cards pretty close to their chest, you know.
Exactly. Super secretive.
Top secret, all that.
But DeepSeek, they're like, hey, everybody, come on in. Let's build the future of AI together.
Wow. That's a pretty radical approach, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And, you know, it's got everyone thinking, what does this mean for, well, everything?
I mean, just imagine the possibilities, right?
Exactly. But, of course, like with anything new, there are concerns, things we got to think about.
Oh, for sure. Especially when you consider the political backdrop here.
Yeah, you're right. We can't just gloss over that. But before we get there, can we just talk about the cost for a second?
Sure, the cost, yeah.
$6 million.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is, especially when you compare it to, was it $100 million for GPT-4?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, what does that say about the future of AI development?
Well, to me, it signals a potential shift in the power dynamic, you know?
How so?
Well, if you can develop this level of AI for that kind of money,
Yeah.
it opens doors for smaller players, universities, maybe even, individuals.
Wow.
Suddenly, the tools to build powerful AI, they're not just in the hands of the giants anymore.
I see. It's like leveling the playing field.
Exactly, and that puts pressure on the big players to adapt, to rethink their strategies.
That's a fascinating point. And, you know, it brings us to another interesting aspect of DeepSeek.
Okay, what's that?
It's kind of an alternative,
Yeah.
you know, and not just in terms of tech.
What do you mean?
Well, think about China, right?
Yeah.
ChatGPT, it's blocked over there.
Right.
So DeepSeek, it's a homegrown solution.
A homegrown solution. Yeah, I get it.
But, and there's always a but,
There's always a but.
there's this whole censorship thing.
Oh, yeah. The censorship, we can't forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, that really complicates the picture, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It throws a whole other wrench into the works, doesn't it?
So DeepSeek, from what we're hearing, it's programmed to kind of steer clear of anything sensitive, anything that might be, you know, critical of the Chinese government.
Yeah, those taboo topics,
Exactly. We're talking Tiananmen Square, Tibet, Hong Kong.
All the big ones.
You ask about those, and DeepSeek either dodges the question or just gives you this prepackaged, very controlled response.
Sounds a bit like, having a conversation with someone who's been told what they can and can't talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like having a conversation with those really strict parents at a party.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
But here's the thing that really gets me.
What's that?
The code, it's open source, right?
Right.
So anyone can see it, but there's still this underlying layer of control. How does that even work?
Well, it's all about the training data. Think about it. The AI, it learns from this massive data set, right?
Yeah, the training data.
And that data, it can be curated, filtered to exclude certain perspectives or information.
Oh, so even if the code's open, the bias is kind of baked in already.
Exactly. It's like baking a cake. You can have the recipe, but if you only use certain ingredients,
You're going to get a very specific cake.
you got it.
That's kind of unsettling.
It's definitely something to think about.
Because it raises the question, is DeepSeek really about open innovation? Or is it pushing a very specific agenda?
A very good question, and one that I don't think has a simple answer,
Yeah, it's complex. And speaking of complex, what about the market impact of all this?
Oh, yeah. Things are getting shaken up, aren't they?
Remember when DeepSeek R1 was announced and NVIDIA's stock took a hit?
Yeah, I remember that.
Clearly, investors, they're paying attention. They see DeepSeek as a potential disruptor.
No doubt. And I think they're right to be paying attention.
Why is that?
Well, if Chinese companies can develop this level of AI independently,
Yeah.
It could mean a reduced reliance on U.S. technology.
Right, which has huge implications not just for business, but geopolitically, too.
Exactly. We're talking about a potential shift in the global balance of power when it comes to technology.
So where does all this leave us? I mean, what does DeepSeek mean for the future?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
We're at a real turning point in AI development, that's for sure.
Yeah.
DeepSeek, it's this mix of exciting possibilities and, well, some valid concerns.
Like the censorship.
Exactly. So here's a thought. What if there was a DeepSeek outside of China? One without these political restrictions.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
Would it become a truly global alternative?
I mean, it could, right?
It could. And then there's the open source aspect. Will that lead to more transparency and collaboration in AI development? Or will it just become another battleground for, geopolitical maneuvering?
These are some seriously big questions.
They are, but they're questions we need to be asking because the answers, they're going to shape the future of AI and maybe even the future of, well, everything.
That's a great point, and I think our deep dive today has really highlighted that
Hope so.
DeepSeek, it's not just an AI model.
It's much more than that.
It's a reflection of the world we live in, a world where technology, politics, global power, it's all intertwined.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What path will DeepSeek take? How will it shape the future of AI? Those are questions I don't have the answers to.
Me neither.
But hopefully, this deep dive has given everyone out there plenty to think about.
Food for thought.
Because the future of AI, it's being written right now in DeepSeek. It's right there in the thick of it.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today's Deep Dives.
Until next time.
Keep those brains buzzing, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.